Hi, today I would love to talk to you about secure attachment. What I've been learning about is different attachment styles that children learn from their interaction with their primary caregiver in particular, but other people as well. And what I've learned through the work that I do and some of the other stuff that I've been looking up about right brain to right brain therapy as adults is basically people who didn't get a secure attachment in childhood can create that for themselves later in life. To be able to do that, they would need to sit with a therapist in a setting and actually talk and get the empathy of that therapist regularly again and again, and to feel safe and understood, and to feel like they're able to then regulate their emotions. And if you don't get the secure attachment in childhood, you tend to have a lot more issues with regulating your emotions, feeling like your needs are going to be met consistently, and feeling like you're in a safe world. So there's 3 different types of attachment styles, and there's been research about the brain for about 30 years. And what they've discovered is with all of our different neural pathways and the 10 million different opportunities or ways that your brain can be wired, in early childhood, there's a really crucial time where even in the last 3 months of pregnancy and the first 3 years of life, where the right brain is the dominant part of the brain. And in that, what we're looking at is things like mirroring emotions. So if a child's upset, is the parent then responding and saying, "Oh, I acknowledge that you're upset. What do you need right now?" And giving those needs consistently, getting them met. Or is the parent neglecting the child? Or are they responding with anger or rage? So if there's neglect or anger and rage as a predominant response, then that's creating a attachment style that's called disorganized. When that occurs, that's probably the hardest form of attachment style for someone to come through and as an adult to rewire the brain, because there is so much unsafety around relationships and relying on other people. So that person then becomes very self-contained, scared of the world, scared of other people, and they don't know how to relate socially in healthy ways to other people because they didn't have that mirrored to themselves. The next less severe form of unhealthy attachment style is the anxious or avoidant attachment style. And this is a parent where a primary caregiver is quite anxious and disconnected with themselves. So they're occasionally able to meet the needs of the child, but it's not consistent enough that the child feels secure and that they're going to be able to get their needs met by that parent. So they can feel a bit uncertain. They can go from feeling confident to lacking that confidence and really scared very quickly as well. And then the secure attachment style, which the good news is it's not that hard to get to the secure attachment style, even though only 55% of people around the world have had that in childhood. So what you'd need is basically 1/3 of the time your primary caregiver is there giving you your needs, getting them met. Basically, they're present, they're responding well and quickly enough, they're teaching you that you can rely on them to help regulate your emotions, that their relationship is safe, the world is a safe place. That's 1/3 of the time. And then the other 1/3 of the time they call rupture. So if you've actually disconnected or you've not responded very well, or you're still trying to figure it out and you're not actually getting that need met, that's okay. Because then the last 1/3 is repair. So you're learning, you're going, well, what can I do differently? What did I miss this time? What's going on in my life that I'm disconnecting or I'm worried about? How can I come back to the present moment and be here with my child again? So for me, that was really interesting to realize that a secure attachment style does not require you to be 100% there, perfect. It's not realistic anyway, but the idea that, you can make mistakes, but to learn from those mistakes and reflect and think, well, what do I do differently? What does my child need? And I think, it teaches that child as well that life isn't going to be always revolving around you anyway. So I think it's a realistic expectation to try to work towards secure attachment. And I'm sure every parent wants that. It's just about learning the tools to get you there. And if you don't know them, there's ways to find them through working with other people like a coach or a counselor or psychotherapist, psychologist, reading books, going to courses. There's so many ways you can teach yourself these things, because unfortunately our parents' generation weren't so aware about all these emotional cues and power of the mind. They didn't really see the impact that the emotional well-being of their child, what they would do in that childhood, how that could impact them into adulthood. So we're really lucky now. We've had so much research about the brain, and it really just takes consistency and awareness and a commitment to getting it right from the early days, because it takes a lot longer as an adult. And I've worked with people where it's been really rewarding seeing the changes, but I think people want a quick fix. They want, to take a magic pill and have things work overnight. But unfortunately, the adult brain, when it's worked a certain way for decades, it takes quite a bit of time to rewire the brain. So if we can get in quite early with children, it is so much more powerful. I hope that's helped you in some way. And if you have any questions, comments, or you would like to share, please go ahead. Have a great week. Bye.